Let's talk about Pam Bondi for a few moments, who's the alleged Attorney General for the United States, although she appears to be simply Trump's lackey. Um, when she was dealing several months ago with the Epstein file, she said that she wanted to make sure that children who had been abused by people were protected by their names and images in the videotapes that she had, of which she said there were either thousands or more. She said she had the list of Epstein's clients in front of her. Um, Keep in mind, the only person who's been indicted or convicted in the Epstein sex trafficking uh, scandal is his associate Maxwell, who she is sitting in a jail somewhere awaiting a decision or awaiting an argument in front of the Supreme Court. Apparently, she has offered to testify in front of Congress, but so far the Republicans have refused to ask her to come in and testify. But so that's one person out of thousands of children who Bondi said had been abused who has gone to jail for this. So what are they hiding? Who are they protecting? Why are they protecting them? This is a crime of unimaginable proportions that everybody is sitting on quietly and not doing anything about when they could. And they said that they would time and time and time again. As I've said repeatedly, the record is clear that Trump was a good friend of Jeffrey Epstein. He traveled with him. He used his airplane to campaign on. He changed the Epstein, whatever it was called, to the Trump logo, but that was Jeffrey Epstein's plane that he picked up and used. So that of all the thousands of people, we have one. And apparently the FBI and the Department of Justice certainly have the information that they should be able to indict others and make it publicly known of who were the customers for Jeffrey Epstein. Meanwhile, Pam Bondi continues to fire any lawyer who was in any way associated with the January 6th prosecutions. They seem to have been perfectly happy to give those people pardons, even though they attacked our government, and now they are firing the lawyers who had done their job to prosecute those same people. It's clear the administration has no ethics, so Pam Bondi also fired the Ethics Council at the Department of Justice. Let's turn our attention then to Trump for a moment. When Trump announced that there was going to be hell to pay by Russia in 50 days, there's such a lack of credibility that the Russian stock market rose 2,700 points immediately after he made his announcement that there were no sanctions and nothing else to impact Russia adversely for at least 50 days, because everybody knows Taco Man will, at the end of 50 days, say, well, I'm going to give him another 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks and sit on his hands and do absolutely nothing about it. Yesterday at a prayer breakfast at the White House, which is really sort of funny in its own right, Trump went off on a ramble. But he told the story of a friend of his who he said was an unattractive billionaire, but had a very attractive trophy wife. This doesn't speak well for anybody in this story, but he said the wife had said to the billionaire that if Trump doesn't give you a tax cut, I'm going to leave you. Sort of, how much money can you use? Well, apparently it must be in the billions. But so Trump said this was the motivation for giving tax cuts to billionaires. Think about that for a minute, where he himself is saying that he's giving tax cuts to billionaires so that they keep bimbo wives who don't care about anybody else or anything else but money. I'm not saying that story is true, but I'm saying this is the way Trump thinks, and he told us that that's the way he thinks.